Hey everyone, welcome back to the Corvids and Coffee podcast. My name's Liz, and here with me today are Tori and Sofia. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey. And today we're going to be talking about the very sensational show, which you can watch on HBO Max and I think other platforms as well. It's called Heated Rivalry, which is based off a
If you
romance
haven't heard of
novel
it
book
already.
series. Huh?
I said if you haven't heard of it already, I feel like it's incredibly
If you
popular.
haven't, I'm trying to think how many books there are. But basically,
Well,
it's
it's part
a
of a six a
enemies to
six-book
lover
series.
story.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a book series, and it's about a relationship between two rival hockey players. I think one is what is it, Boston Raiders for the team, and then the other one is the
Yeah, fictional teams,
oh, why
yeah.
am I forgetting? Yeah, they're fictional team. They're
And the
basically like
Metros,
turf
the
kind of.
Montreal Metros
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's like loosely kind of
Yeah,
mirroring, I think, like Boston
on,
Bruins
like,
and
real.
stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, and it's from like the early 2010s to I think like just before 2020. I want to say is the timeline.
I think so. I haven't really paid attention to the
Yeah.
timeline too much. I mean, they do it over the years,
Yes,
but
it's a gay romance novel, with sports as the outlining plot, which is hockey. So let's get into it. Tori's gonna guide us off because she got me into the show. And Fia, how'd you get into the show? Do you happen to
Uh,
refer it or recommend it?
I knew the book. I didn't read the book, but I knew about the book, and then I saw online that people were going crazy over it, so I watched it.
We should read the book at some point.
yeah, I am debating reading the book. I saw it honestly, I watched it. I wanna say I watched it a couple weeks ago. I saw it come up and I was like, "Oh, I've been hearing stuff about it," and I watched the whole show probably in, like, 2 days. It was very good. It's a very short series,
Impressive.
for season 2 to come out, but we can talk about, I guess, what kinda, like, why it's such a good show, and I don't know how you haven't finished it yet, Lizzie, but how it's so, like, it
Hey,
draws
I'm
you in.
almost done with episode 6, which we will talk about in part 2,
Yeah,
as well as some
Yeah, the
other
yeah.
finale
outlining
came
parts.
out on Christmas, so that's when I
Oh,
watched
that's
the
so
finale.
crazy. I think I must have watched
Christmas
it
wasn't even that
right
far ago.
after Christmas or right after winter, like, during winter break, maybe I watched it. I can't remember, honestly. I think I watched it in
Yeah,
the new year, but
I had to wait for like the
honestly,
second batch to come out.
oh my god, no, I watched it all at once, thank god. Yeah,
Wow, that was
so
like over a
good.
month ago.
Very, like, a lot of anticipation within the show, it's so good, like, honestly, I feel like each episode's like a cliffhanger, it really
Oh, it
pulls you in.
absolutely is.
The music's really good, which is something that I think people don't talk about, but overall, the relationship between the 2 players, between Ilya and Shane is just like, oh, that's what really brings you in. There's also, like, a little side story on a character in there, but I think I don't know, like, everyone loves this show and everyone says, like, you're part of a cult if you're, like, obsessed with Heated Rivalry, and I think it just
Yeah.
has to go with even though obviously there's a ton of, like, gay sex in it, it's, like, very I almost wanna say wholesome, but it's, like, such a feel good, it's, like, so, like, I don't know,
Well, it's
sweet. The characters
romantic.
have yeah, the characters have
Yeah.
such good chemistry. It's really good. Overall, love the show. Excited for the 2nd season to come out. I do think I wanna read the book, but it's part of a 6-book series, and Heated Rivalry is actually book 4, I think, or something like that, or 5.
Oh, are they like
So I
different
Yeah,
might
they
start the
changed the
storylines?
series.
name.
What do you mean?
Oh, gotcha.
Of the
Well, I mean, the show, like, like, it's not like the first book is called.
No, I mean, the book is called Heated Rivalry, that's about them. The whole
But I
series is
don't
not
think the
about
first.
the 2. The
Yeah,
other
I
books
think
are about
that's.
different couples.
Oh, I just looked it up. Do you want me to tell you the order?
Yeah, I think I know the order, but yeah. Go ahead
Yeah,
for the
1 is,
listeners.
Game Changer, 2nd is Heated Rivalry, 3 is Tough Guy, 4 is Common Goal, 5 is Role Model, 6 is The Long Game, and 7 is Unrivaled.
I
So
They're
thought they
kinda
were all about Shane and Ilya, but
No,
no.
they're not.
well, it
Only
says that
2
the
of
core
them are.
characters are those. Yeah, it
So
says
Heated Rivalry is
it's probably
about them,
like
and
a
then
yeah.
The Long Game, I think, is it? Is that what it is, or Game
Is it
Changer?
Game Changer or The Long Game probably?
The Long Game, I think, is
So
about
who's
them
the first
afterwards, which is
book
why there's
about
gonna be a
them?
season 2. I think
So
other
it says the
couples, all
TV
the other ones
show
are
yeah, it says the TV show covers season 1 covering books 1 and 2, which is probably like the other storyline's probably about Kip and Scott, but we'll get to that.
anyway, so, we can talk about, like, the first episode, which is when we meet the 2 characters, obviously, and their rookie players. They're in their, like, your rookie season or even starts before their
I think they're
rookie
like
season.
17.
I think
That
so,
young?
yeah. I don't really
Yeah,
understand.
they
Yeah,
started
I don't
like late
understand how
teens.
hockey works enough to, like, understand, but I guess
I
they
don't
must
know
be
enough about
right out
hockey.
but they join the major league teams, right? Like, right after their rookie, they're both in the
Oh, yeah, they
draft. So
do.
I don't know if the draft happens after high school for them, but I feel like it happens after college.
I
Wait,
think
I'll
it
do
can
some
start as
research.
early as 18.
I think it can, but I don't think they're 18.
I think
I
you
could be
have to be
wrong.
at least 18.
No, I think they're older than that, but I don't know.
Uh, I don't know.
I thought they both played for some, like, minor teams or something. But anyway, we're not really here for the hockey. So, yeah, the first, episode is really good. I think it, like, builds on, like, the tension, just, like, you kinda see a little bit about both characters. I feel like I have to think back to the first episode even. Is
They
that when they
meet.
first hook up in the first episode?
uh,
Yes.
I believe so.
I think they do. Yeah, so you meet them for the first time. What else, in the first episode? Let me look
Well,
this up
Well,
because
they're
I'm
kind of
Shane
rivals. They're rivals from
well,
opposite
they're
teams, and it's
rivals from
kinda,
being,
like,
like,
implied
drafted
that
at first. Yeah, I think because 'cause they're
well,
both
also
drafted in the
that
number
and
1 and number
because
2.
well, it's also the impression that, like, Ilya is very much, like everyone sees him as the asshole kind of, so
Mhm.
he's being like,
Opposites.
no one really likes that guy, and then Shane's a very
Mhm.
likable character, but he's very timid and kinda to himself. So it's
well,
op
Shane introduces himself to Ilya, like, that's the first scene, which is, like,
Mhm,
not how like, obviously, like, it's very different from, like, how they operate, like, the rest of the show,
Mhm.
but Shane introduces himself to Ilya by saying, like, "I'm a huge fan," and Ilya says, "Okay," and
Mhm.
it's kind of just this, like, okay, like, obviously, like, they don't care, like, they're just, like, whatever about each other, and then it kind of, like, progresses and you see, like, like, there's chemistry there and there's, like, you know, a relationship there, but it's
Yeah,
interesting
especially when
that,
they
like
they meet and then they, like, bump into each other essentially at the gym, like, I think the day after or whatever, they're both in the gym, and then so
yeah,
yeah,
I
they're
you can
the
mean
kinda
same
feel the tension, like, begins there essentially, I think.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I also saw this part, like, when they first meet, when Shane introduces himself to Ilya, he's about to, like, light a cigarette or whatever, and then when he, like,
Mhm.
shakes his
And he
hand or
says
something, there's, like he lights his cigarette, which is, like, symbolic for, like, a spark between the 2. It's supposedly when, like, the
"Ooh."
first part happens, but I think
Mm.
once they meet in the gym and there's a scene where they're in the gym or whatever, and they're, like, racing on the
In the
friggin' whatever, the
showers.
bikes or whatever it is, and then it
Oh, and
starts
the
from
water.
there, I
Oh,
feel like.
wait, can we talk about the water bottle scene? Because that
Yeah,
was
that's
very,
what I'm
like
talking
I
about.
kinda like how
Yeah.
that played out where it was very intimate, but it wasn't even like, you're sharing a water bottle. You don't really, like, think like, "Oh, it's" there's that joke of, like, "Oh, indirect kiss," but, like, the hand lingering and, like, the drink of the water, the maintained
Yeah.
eye
A lot
contact
of,
is
like,
very,
tension
like
just builds up, and there's only a couple
yeah.
words, like,
It was
spoken
sorta
between
like
the 2
there's
of them.
something
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, like, the first part, I feel like, where we see it. And then it moves on to, do they play against each other? Is that what happens next? I don't even remember.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they play against each other, and then it's the night I think it's the night following, or they're at the hotel, and he said or no, they play, and then he says what his hotel room is.
Ilya.
'Cause you know how they have that
Mhm,
constant thing where it's like they say, like, the name the room number, like, throughout the series, like, their hotel room number is, like, their code to being like, "Meet me at this room," basically.
mhm. Yep.
So, yeah, and, Shane is definitely in the beginning is shown as, like, the inexperienced one. Ilya's sort of, like, the more experienced one, and he's like, "You've done this before?" And he's like, "Yes." So he's definitely, like but Ilya has that personality, he's like, "Oh, like, I don't really wanna get close to people," kinda thing. It's just like, "It's whatever for me," is the
Even though
intention that
he is kinda the one
beginning.
who's, like, initiates everything, I feel like, which
Yeah,
is funny. He's the one who's
Yeah,
initiating, like,
he's the more
everything. But yeah.
confident one.
he just doesn't wanna face it yet. It's just a feeling I think it's the emotional part, for Ilya that he struggles with, and, well, meanwhile, Shane can be more upfront about their emotions, but also maybe not into the fact that, he couldn't confront that he himself is gay for the longest time in the first season, even while his relationship was progressing with Ilya.
Mhm. Yeah, so it starts off kinda, like, sets a scene for both of them, like, not wanting really anything, but also they're obviously there. What was the other part I was gonna include? I just also find funny, I don't know if you guys have seen videos of, like, the actors, like, Hudson Williams and Connor Story. Connor Story is,
Mhm.
like, not at all like his character in real life, or at least, like, his persona doesn't come off as that, which is so crazy to me
Oh,
because after I watched the show or whatever, I, like, saw it coming up and stuff, and he is, like it's crazy how his character is very, like, opposite of what he is or, like, how he's not like that. Even I don't
yeah,
know,
just
I was,
look
like,
him up.
shocked that he's
He's
not Russian. You guys know he's not Russian or anything, and
I'm shocked. I just
he
Yeah.
saw
learned
he's
Russian for
from
the thing.
Texas.
I was, like, shocked about that because he plays it really well.
That's
I was like,
insane.
"Oh my god." Like, even, like, his voice is completely different, obviously. And I was like, "Oh my god, it's crazy." I had no idea, and then I watched it because I thought he might be, like, a Russian actor or something, like, initially, right? And then I was like, "Oh my god, he's just
And
putting
then
on a
yeah.
accent and a voice." Crazy.
And then meanwhile, Hudson Williams is actually from Canada, like, his character
Yeah.
is,
Is a little bit more
Canadian,
yeah.
which is
Mhm.
funny, so I'm just like, basically, he's more like his character, and then, yeah,
Well, he's not
her story,
shy
that's
like his
crazy.
character though. Like
Oh, yeah, he's kinda more
he's
out
very
Yeah, they
funny, he's
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
charming. He's kind of a little more cheeky like Ilya, I feel like.
Yes, people say that, like, I a bunch of things,
it's
all
so
the
funny
interviews
the
I watched, they're
dynamic.
like, "Oh, it's so funny,
Yeah.
they're like opposites, like, in real life or whatever," and I was like, "Oh," but the chemistry,
Yeah.
they definitely
And
have
that's kinda
off-scene,
surprising
even
for the
though
fans.
I think Hudson Williams is in a relationship or whatever, but everyone's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
'Cause it's if you see the
Yeah.
interviews between the 2 of them, I'm like, "Oh my god, they're so cute."
I know. I think they
Well,
are just
if I have to
friends
yeah.
though.
No, I think they're just, like, best friends after
And
either
honestly,
before or
like
From
after this.
yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, which is so funny, but if you see the interviews, it's so funny because I just think I'm like, "Oh my god, Connor's story, it's, like, crazy," like, how he puts
Yeah,
on that Russian accent and stuff and, like, speaks in Russian. I'm like, "Oh my god,
yeah, he's
crazy."
very
Well, I have
talented.
Very
to kinda
impressive.
compare it to I do have to point out the chemistry between the actors for that is amazing, especially with the fact
Mhm.
that it kinda reminds me of I don't know if you ever watched Brokeback Mountain, but with Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal really getting into their roles and,
Mhm.
kind of convincing you of that love story
Yeah,
with their
I think it's
chemistry.
also similar
It
to
reminds me
Normal
of that.
People. This show strongly reminds me of Normal People. Lizzie, you never watched Normal People, I don't
Oh,
think, but
that's why you
Fia, you
said
did, right?
when you referred it, you were like, "It's like normal people." That's what you compared it to when you were like,
Yeah.
"You have
Fia,
to
you
watch
watch
this,"
Normal
and you said
People?
it's just like that.
Yeah.
Normal People also is kind of, like, similar in, like, kind of secret-ish relationship or whatever, but, like, the chemistry between the actors. And then, like, after Normal People, lots of people talking about what's her name, Fia, again? The actors?
Daisy Edgar Jones,
Daisy Edgar Jones and oh my
Paul
god, what's the other guy's
Mescal.
Paul Mescal. Wait, not Paul Mescal. Wait, Paul
Yeah,
Mescal? Paul
yeah.
Mescal, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was somebody else. And them, like, even outside, like, obviously, like, after filming, outside of filming, it's like, oh, you just, like, see them together.
Well, I feel
Whether
like
they're
the
just
best
good
fight
friends or
for
whatever,
Yeah, I feel like
but the way
that's
that
yeah.
he
so,
looks at
like
her, I'm like but it's, like,
I
because you watch the show. It's also, like,
yeah,
because you
I
watch the
feel like
show
that's
yeah,
I
it's
feel like it's
hard.
kinda boring when co-stars date, to be honest, because it's like,
No,
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously,
exactly.
like, it's like you're doing sex scenes together, like, you're doing all this
Mhm.
stuff, so
So,
it's
like,
like,
PR
it would
kind
be
of
so
to
s
sell it.
yeah, it's like good PR, so I'm
Mm.
like, I don't I'm kinda like pro co-stars not dating because 'cause I'm like, you
No,
know
yeah.
what?
But
I
then you
feel
see
like
I
them
it's
and
am
then
too
you're like
pro
close.
yeah. But you
Yeah.
I
see them
am
and then you're like,
pro
"Oh my
co-star
god."
I am pro co-stars as best friends because even in, like, the Wicked movies, Jonathan Bailey and, Cynthia Erivo are, like, best friends, and they're both in the LGBTQ, so it's kinda like you have somebody that I think when you have somebody that's basically like your best friend that you're acting alongside, especially in the case of being each other's love interest in a show or a movie, it makes you more comfortable with the person, and they probably have gotten to know each other, like, especially far before screening, because that stuff, especially with, like, choreographed, like, intimacy scenes for movies and shows, I feel like especially a lot more now, there's definitely more rules in place to make the actors feel more comfortable, which I really do appreciate. And I think they definitely did it with, like, this show, especially with how the camera angles and everything, because, sometimes you just see a lot of gratuitous, nudity, but in this case, it was kinda, like, done in a way that wasn't too overexposed for the actors in the sense that, like, you're not seeing everything, like, super I mean, it's still very, a lot of nudity, but it's not in the
Explicit.
case of,
It's not
it's
full
still done
frontal.
pretty well. Yeah, it's not like, "Oh, it's in your face," like, it's kind of more like it's more done tastefully, I guess that's the way I'm trying to phrase it, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's also
Yeah.
it's funny because it starts out the show, obviously, the first 2 episodes are, like, very, like, tons of sex, but then it's, like, kind of less-ish, at least that's how I thought of it as they go on because people are like, "Oh my god, there's so much sex." I'm like, "It is sex heavy, but it's, like, there's so much other
Well,
stuff
because
that
at
goes on with the
first
show."
it's a
They
hookup,
just
and
hook
then
up. Yeah,
it
exactly, they're
develops into
just
a
hooking up.
relationship. So then you're like, "Oh, like, they're still having sex, but it's not, like, just about the sex."
Yep.
Yeah, it's kinda like smut novels where it's like it gets a lot of that in the beginning or, like, at certain parts, but then it focuses on the overall relationship and the interactions and, like, everything that kinda breaks down the characters, especially since they're both from such different cultural backgrounds and upbringings.
Yeah, and I think that's where episode 2 comes in where they go to the Olympics, is kind of,
Mm,
like, shows that a little bit more about, like, obviously Ilya, like, being from Russia, it's in Russia, and then not wanting,
yeah.
like, to talk to him at all, but, like, both because he's in Russia and he doesn't wanna be seen with him, but also because, like, he's got other family stuff going on, and he, like, obviously his team did not make the Olympics or whatever, lost at one of the whatever rounds it was. I love the side story of Scott Hunter and Kip, obviously.
I
So
love them.
cute, such a good episode. It's crazy though, at first when I watched episode 2, and it ends, I think, with them talking about or it doesn't end, but it has that scene where it's, Shane, Scott, and whatever the other guy's name is from the USA team talking about how, like, brave that ice skater is, and then it starts the next
Yeah,
episode with Scott. I was like, "Oh, wait, is this the same episode?" And I had to go back and look because then it's, like, now it's from, like, Scott Hunter's, like
Perspective.
into
so
that
cute.
relationship
Love that little, like, sideline story. I was like, "Oh, I hope they come back," which,
It
spoiler,
was
they
just
do.
I also love the fact, like, the raw emotional part of, like, of Scott not being ready to come out yet, but also the fact that their relationship like, he said he's like, "I'm" like, the joke of, like, "Oh, he's not a serial killer," but then he's like, "Hey, I know this is gonna sound like too much," but he was just like he laid it all out there because he's like, "I really want you." Like, he's just like he cares about him, he's attracted to him, he's never wanted something more than this, like, he feels like his authentic self with him, like, that was so touching, than him being like, "Yeah, it's not much," and it's like, "I would love to be here when you get back from practice," and then that being their routine.
Mhm.
But then there was, with
Yeah, it
the
was
shame of,
nice.
like, hiding him and being like, "Well, maybe in a couple years I'll be ready," which I'm just like, you can't force someone to come out when they're not ready, but it was definitely I felt so bad for Kip. I was so depressed for, like, the rest of the so when I was just like,
Mhm.
"No, I wanted a happy ending." I was, like, texting, I think, during that episode, I'm like, "Oh, no." I came out of my room and I was like, "I need to" it's like, "I need this to be a good ending. Please tell me they end up
Oh my
together."
god,
You
I
said you have to
know.
watch more of it. And I was just
Yeah.
like, "But I really love them. I don't
Which
want
they
this
come
to end
back,
horribly."
obviously. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god, it was so good. I loved them. Love
God,
Kip.
the
What is
best.
Kip from? Is he from
It's
something I
cool.
know? He looked very familiar, the
Let me
actor.
look up the actor. I will look up Kip's actor, but yeah, if you wanna bring up the next point while I look up Kip's actor, please do.
Yeah, the next so I'm trying to think. So then after that, they get back to Shane and Ilya in episode 4. Episode 4 was, I believe, when they had the club scene, the iconic club scene, obviously. That song, so good. But when he meets Rose, has a little thing with Rose, Ilya's obviously jealous, and then they're at the club or whatever. That scene, oh my god, I can't stop watching that scene. It's so good.
Yeah,
It is
it is really good.
The acting, just like, oh, it's so good. I love that
oh,
scene.
oh,
Love that
I
song.
gotta point out
Good
the
music.
moment with wait, for the one where he's dancing with Rose and then Ilya's dancing with
Yeah,
that
the club
girl and
scene.
then yeah,
Yeah, we were just talking about that. The club scene, so
yeah.
good. Chemistry,
Well, I
the,
was gonna
like,
say
just the
there's
facial expression, there's, like, not much again, like, there's not so much, like, talking going on, obviously, in that scene, like, what's going on. I liked his
it's
conversation
more
with
like it's
Rose, which I
physically
think comes
spoken.
later.
Yeah,
His
I
conversation
think
Yeah.
with
that's
Rose
the
comes
next
Wait, because
later.
at the
episode.
end
Yeah, I
Because at
think
the end
so.
of that club scene, he's dancing with Rose, but then Miles is, like her friend Miles is right behind him,
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
like,
that
"Oh,
was
is this gonna
also
lead
another
into, like, a
weird
ménage à trois situation kinda thing? Because I
yeah,
thought
it's
that
before
when
he steps
he
away,
came
and
in
then the
there.
whole Ilya and him thing
Yeah.
happens. Yeah,
He's
that
like,
was
"I
also
have to go to
so
the bathroom," and
strange.
then it ended. Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Is she actually?" And then
Well,
trying to
when I
get him
watched
to
that for
hook
the
up with
first
Miles. That's what I
time
thought. That's what I thought.
Well, when I watched it for the first time, I was like, "Is it like like Rose setting him up with Miles, like, with her or
That's what
whatever?"
I
But
was
then
thinking.
the club part happens, and then, like, a scene between them, and it was, like, where all the
I
things she
wonder
said
if
saw
she,
plays.
like, thought maybe, like, he was more into, like, her friend or, like,
Well, she talks about that,
something.
like, later when they
Yeah.
have their little dinner thing or whatever, and, like, they
Yeah.
And
talk
she's
about
very
everything,
understanding.
which is
Yeah.
funny.
It was so shocking they did it that way too, because usually I mean, I think it's, like, fair to be, like, a little upset that, like, the person you're dating's, like, gay and you didn't
Yeah,
know,
but she was, like, super,
Well, yeah,
super
but
if it's a
understanding.
relationship, you still have to mourn.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, they made it, like, show she was, like, very, like, "Oh, like, it's cool, like, I've dated plenty of gay guys, LOL."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
It
I
wasn't, like,
thought was,
super
like
serious.
it was not I don't
She
know
was
if
like,
it's, like,
"Ah, it's nothing."
super realistic, but, like, it was
No.
cute.
It was nice
Yeah,
because
because it's just like
Yeah.
obviously which is,
she's
like,
like, "I'm
and
happy to
that's
see you're happy."
yeah. And it was,
Yeah,
like, nice for
very
Shane
And
much.
the
because it was more focused
and
around
the,
Shane, I think.
yeah. Also, she wanted to be a good friend still to him, like and on the situation of, "Oh, I'm friends with my ex right away." It was more of a, like, she wants to be someone that he can feel safe with admitting this stuff to and being able to trust her with that. And
Also, I think it's
she became a
hard
confidant. But,
to know, though, how long they were, like, having a little fling for in the show because
yeah,
obviously they give you, like, the
I couldn't
years.
nail that,
They don't
the
say
I
that, but,
mean,
dating range.
it was serious enough that, like or not serious enough, but I
Post
feel
about
like
it. Yeah,
they were
news
definitely, like,
coverage.
being, like, boyfriend girlfriendy
I
because
thought
she
they
had his
were.
jersey on, like, at a
Yeah, but at the
game,
same time,
Pictures.
though,
and
they're celebrities, so, like, if you think about when Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift started dating or whatever, it was probably, like, the biggest thing ever, right? So, like, not to compare them because I have no
Yeah,
idea, but I
big
guess kind of
PR.
in the show, but, like, it was more like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing because they met one night and there was pictures of them online meeting that same night, so I was
Oh,
like, "I wonder how
yeah, it was
serious it really
I remember that
was."
picture.
Yeah, and I'm like, "I
Or if
wonder
it
how
was a
serious it
PR
really
stunt?
was and if it was just, like, a fling kinda thing," and then she was kinda like, "Okay, this is cool," but either way, I guess it's not perceived as that in the show, it's kinda like she just moves on from it, which is nice, but
yeah.
Yeah.
not
I mean,
realistic,
I
but, like,
think
super happy and like, "Oh, this is so great," you know what I mean? Which is kinda what the show what's
yeah,
the
I
romance
think
like and
that,
everything
like,
comes out good.
I feel like obviously, because it's, like, a lot less serious, like, I get why she wouldn't be, like, upset.
Yeah.
I feel like even more interesting than that, like, reaction that she had is, like, Svetlana, who Ilya kind of, like,
Yeah.
is sort of, like, dating, hooking up with on and off,
Like
Mhm.
like,
childhood
because
friend.
she, like, kind of knows inadvertently, right? Like, she
Yeah.
never says it, but I feel like he doesn't, like, use her, but, like, it's kind of just, like, like, she's, like, this safe, comfortable person that, like, he also, like, will hook up with
Yeah.
because I mean, I think he is bi. I think he's just, like, he is in love with Shane. It's not, like,
Yep.
so much, like,
Yeah.
I know,
that he's
that's
not
also weird
attracted to
too.
women, because he is, like, attracted to some women, but it's not like he hasn't had, like, a real, like, romantic relationship with a woman, I don't think.
Yeah, and obviously
And
his relationship with Ilya already
right,
complicates
but I
everything
do think
too.
it's, like, very, like it's really cool that he had like, that this girl, this woman, like,
I know,
is
right?
just, like all constantly, being there for him and,
Mhm.
likes him,
And
but,
even
like, doesn't
after
get mad.
this
She's, like,
yeah.
not upset about his, like, being distant and, like, not
Yep.
really being, like, clear with her about, like, who he's dating, even though she, like,
Yep.
has this sense that he's dating someone, and, like,
Mhm.
I think that because they were, like, childhood friends and then they would, like, hook up, and I feel like that would just make me feel, like, very, like I mean, yeah, like,
Used.
emotionally confused, but she just is very,
Are
like,
you saying
supportive.
Svetlana?
Yeah, because I feel like they have known each other so long, and they did
Yep.
have, like, a romantic relationship, like, they would hook up
Yeah.
and stuff.
And then that brings to, like, episode 5 where, like, when his father dies and she's like, "I'll always be
Yeah.
here for you," or whatever, which is so
Yeah,
yeah, it's
even
like
though I
another
know, like,
person,
we
yeah.
don't have what you have with, what's her
Yeah,
name?
with
Sarah or
yeah,
whatever the
no, no,
code name is.
Shane, because remember it's Jane, sorry, Jane for Shane and
Jane,
Lily
yeah.
for
Yeah,
Ilya.
Jane and
Oh, I love
Lily.
But
that
she
too.
knows it's not Jane, she
No,
knows it's Shane.
she said she was like,
Yeah, because
"Jane's
she said
lucky, he has you," or something
he's
like that. That's what it says.
Yeah,
yeah.
She says
yeah,
"he" in
yeah.
the show, even though it's
I
translated,
know.
which is
Yeah,
like,
that
oh, we
was
love Svetlana.
I know,
Another
that's,
great
like
side character.
She's awesome.
seriously, like and
So many
she's,
good side characters.
she's, like, into hockey and, like, knows all this stuff, and,
Oh my
like,
god,
she's so j awesome, and then he, like, says, like, he could marry her for a visa, like, she would do that.
okay, but we can't spoil anything for Lizzie because I think that happens later.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Lizzie, spoilers. It's really hard not
Well,
to
what?
talk
It was,
about.
like, a
No,
small one.
no.
It's a small one, but whatever.
You do
We
this
won't
to
say anything else, but
me.
yeah, remember the Cottage is off limits right
Ah.
now. Lizzie has not watched the Cottage,
Yes, it is off
which
limits, so
but you
I
watched
forgot
okay,
that
no,
was the
it's
cottage.
okay, but Lizzie, in episode 5, you saw the part where he's in the hospital, right?
yes, I did. When he broke
Okay,
his
when
collarbone and got a
he's like, "Will you come to the
coma,
Cottage with
not
me?"
coma,
All I see all
concussion.
over online is, like, the acronym for, like,
Will you
"Will
marry me?
you" no, "Will you come to the Cottage with me this summer? Please come." And it's like, do you know what I'm talking about, Fia, or no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope you know what I'm talking about, it's so funny. It's, like, everywhere, it's, like, the acronym, it's, like, YC, and then it's, like, this long ass acronym. It's, like, "Will you come to the Cottage with me this summer?" Oh, that moment, I'm like, "Oh my god." It's almost as good as what happens at the end of episode 5, in my opinion. Is
Yeah,
that where we see Kippen that's where we see Kippen Scott, right?
yeah, and they're watching them on TV.
And he, like, calls him and he's like, yeah, I think that happens right after, and he's like, "I'm coming to the Cottage." Another one that's, like, everybody always quotes to, like, "I'm coming to the
I have the full
Cottage."
acronym. I have the full acronym. It's WYCWMTTCTS.
Jeez.
You're
Wait, what does
welcome.
it stand for? Can you say it for us? "Will you come to the Cottage with me this summer?"
Yes.
I see it everywhere. I saw it written on, like, a Starbucks cup. Somebody,
What?
like, on their
Why was
Starbucks
it
cup,
on a
the
Starbucks
whole
cup?
paragraph. It was like, "Will you?"
This
And
is
then
a
it's like
cult. This is a
and then
cult,
it's yeah,
but
this
I'm
is how I know I'm part of the
down for it.
cult. It's like, "Will you?"
Of
And then it's like
course.
parentheses, "Hollander. Come to the Cottage with me
Hollander
this summer."
Hollander.
'Cause he says Hollander. He, like, interrupts him partially. Oh my god, it's
It's
so
like
funny. I'll have to
Hollander.
send it to you guys. I gotta find it. It was so
Please.
funny. I was like,
Wait, no,
"Why is
wait. You
this
know what
on
I
a
do?
Starbucks?"
If
Like, the
on
barista
my
wrote it
way
on the
to
Starbucks cup. You know what I mean?
wait, you know what I'm gonna do? On my way to work tomorrow, I'm just gonna put in the notes on, like, my mobile Starbucks order, I'll just put, like, "Can you put this on the side of my
"Will
c
you come to the Cottage with me?"
will you come to the cottage with me this
"No, I'm
summer?
coming to the Cottage."
Hollander. I'm coming to the
Hollander.
cottage this summer."
Oh
Oh
my
my god.
god.
So funny.
Oh
Anyway, I love
my
that part.
god.
I love that part. And he's with Svetlana when he sees that part, and then Shane's with his parents at that part.
Oh,
Oh, and
And
yeah,
then
then
that
he
yeah.
speaks in Russian to Shane,
oh my god, I forgot about
where
that,
he's
the
Yeah.
like,
monologue.
yeah,
Oh
he's like,
my
"Tell me
god, the
everything,"
monologue.
and, like, it's like, "I want you to feel better," and then says everything, and it's just, like it's basically everything that's been pent up for, like, the longest time, like, feeling like a bank to his family and, like,
Mhm.
never getting the recognition he deserves, being, like, the cash cow for them, basically, just never being seen for anything else, and then knowing that he would never be accepted by his family, and his brother is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sad.
I hate his
And his
brother, and the
dad and
fact that
his
they're both police officers sucks.
I know, his
Because
dad
they don't seem
dying
like as they shouldn't be police officers if they're really
well, I don't
but
think
also
that
it's
we
West Side,
really
so
know that they're police officers. I do think that that could be kind of some sort of a cover, 'cause didn't he just say it one time or something?
you mean
Right, Fia?
Yeah, but
like
I
he
thought
could
you
be
said they were both, Do you
mob.
think, like, they're, like, mobsters or
I
something?
don't
Or,
know,
like,
they could be
KGB?
something.
Maybe, I mean,
Why is his brother asking him for money all the time?
Because they probably
he
don't
does
make a
have
lot in Russia.
Maybe.
There's probably, like, something where, like, it's just they get paid shit or something. I don't know.
That
Or
could be
maybe
it. I
he's
know
not
I didn't know
working,
about
maybe
that.
he got, like, discharged.
Yeah, it's like a lie or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
oh, and then him guilting him with the, "Well, I take care of our dying father," when
yeah.
he
Yeah.
barely like, he abandoned him multiple times and was like, "I need the money," and I'm just like and then using the excuse of, "I have a kid and a wife," yet he's
I feel like
abusing the
his
money
brother's
and you
on
don't know what
drugs or
it's going
something like
to.
that, but we don't
Oh,
really
Yeah,
yeah,
care about
he
that
he's
side of the
probably
probably.
story.
gambling it away. He might be gambling it away, it could be other stuff.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else there, but yeah, it is sad when he's back home for his dad's funeral, and then, like, I feel like he's like, now I have no real connection to, like, come back here. Because
Yeah,
if
like,
I'm
he's like,
wrong,
"I'm
doesn't he
done,"
say the part where he's like, "I'll set up, like, a trust fund for my niece, and, like, that's it, I
and
don't wanna
then
see you
never speak
again?"
to me again. Yeah, he's like, "I'll give you my apartment that's in Russia, presumably," and he's like,
Mhm.
"And they'll set up the trust fund, but she can't, access it until she's 18," which smart, by the way, because the dad would probably gamble it away or something or use it up like he's done with
Yeah, it's
the money he
sad, it's
sent
like
him
his
to
all of
take
his, like,
care of his
family
dad.
problems,
Yeah.
but then we see that Shane's there for him, which is, like, so oh my god, the monologue. The monologue is crazy too because it's also in Russian, and I'm like, how is Connor Story, like,
He
doing
doesn't
all this? It's
understand,
crazy.
but he yeah. Oh my god, him speaking in Russian, it just makes me feel like what if he's actually secretly Russian?
No, literally, all the things I see, and I'm like and his,
He's
like,
actually
actual
secretly
voice
Russian.
compared to, like, that his acting voice is crazy.
I have not heard it yet.
You haven't? Oh my god, wait till you, watch the last episode and then do that because I think I didn't watch it until the last episode because I was like or I didn't look at anything else online because I didn't want it to spoil it for me, and then I was like, "What the heck?" So you should watch it afterwards
I just
or
looked it
find
up,
interviews.
and basically, there was a thing that said, yeah, he used a dedicated Russian accent for his role, speaking with it almost exclusively on set, enhanced believability. Approximately 80% of the cast and crew never heard his real voice, causing surprise at the wrap party. That's
Yes. He said
insane.
I watched an interview where he
That's
says
very
he, like,
method, though.
only spoke in Russian basically, like, the whole time, um,
Very
to,
method.
like, practice
Very
or, like,
immersive.
spoke in Russian with his Russian accent, which is crazy because it's kinda almost like method acting in a way.
It is
Um,
method. That's a
so
really
you should
good approach.
definitely look at interviews with Connor Story and Hudson Williams afterwards. But anyway,
Oh,
so the last
absolutely.
episode that we'll get into the next part is gonna be the cottage, obviously. Will you come to the cottage with me this summer?
And the wrap of episode 5 with the biggest, like, thing with basically Kip and Scott finally being seen in the public eye and everybody and a lot of positive acceptance for it.
Mhm. But yeah, it's the best part. I said she'll be back in a second. But I think we should
Okay.
pause there to wait to do the rest of this because you gotta watch the rest, Lizzie. Possibly the
I'm gonna
best
watch it
episode.
tonight.
And then we could talk about episode 6 next time, and we could talk about, like, wrapping up overall feelings, maybe comparing it to any other shows we think, are on the
Oh,
same
and the
level.
whole
Because
relationship overall for the communication and, like, how it progressed. Because there were a
yeah,
lot of
and
parts where
just
they had like, a good gap of, like, time between their interactions, a lot of it kinda, like, falling off the deep end for the relationship and then eventually coming back to it, but ultimately being, like, their own personal struggles that got in the way.
mhm. Yeah, we can definitely wrap up the show and talk about it, at
Oh
the
man, it
end
was
once
so
you watch
good.
the rest because I
Yes,
don't
I'm
wanna
finishing
ruin
it
anything
tonight. I'm
for
finishing.
you, and,
I
uh
did look up spoilers because of the book.
what do you mean? You looked up spoilers?
Yeah, but, from the book.
Okay, well, hopefully it didn't ruin it for you. Last
Yeah, I'll still
episode,
watch it.
amazing. Wait for you to watch it. But I think
We'll
we should
talk
pause
about
there and
part
pick this up
2.
at the next part 2 so we don't spoil anything to talk about the
Sounds
cottage.
good. Is Fia back yet? We'll do the sign off.
I don't think she's back yet, but we might just sign off without her.
All right. Well, Fia, I know would say that she hopes you have a good week and to Heated Rivalry. And I know Tori would say to watch Heated Rivalry. Wouldn't you, Tori?
Everyone should. It's a
Everyone
coming
should
of
join the cult. Join
what's it
the
called?
cult.
Coming of age.
One
Coming
of
of
us.
age story.
One
It's not for
of us.
children.
Coming of age. That's a different meaning of coming of age.
But inappropriate. You should come with a disclaimer on this episode.
Disclaimer, a lot of explicit details and
Well, we didn't go into too much
spoilers.
detail, but possibly the next time we will.
Well,
All right.
everyone have a great week. Hopefully you stayed safe in the storm, and we will come back with part 2, talking more in discussion about Heated Rivalry. So stay tuned for more. Go watch it on HBO Max or wherever you can find it and get obsessed with it and maybe read the
Go
books. I know
pirate
I
it
will.
from somewhere.
Go pirate it from somewhere.
Okay.
But don't say that we told you to do it.
No, we didn't direct anybody to do that. We did not
influence your decision.
influence
Just
people to
get it
go find the
however
pirated
you get
version.
it. Yes. What if there's,
Okay,
like, a bootleg version?
that'd be
Alright.
crazy.
Everyone have a great night, and thank you, and stay tuned as always. Bye.
Bye.